Hello?
Yes.
Do you have a question?
Welcome to the Melanology Show. How can we assist you?
Yes, Dr. Dewar. This is one of your students from Miami, Florida. My name is Fatima.
I'm a melanin-dominated individual. Sometimes I find myself in a low-energy, lethargic state, like in the middle of the day, like after I slept all night. And I was wondering, aside from, my diet and my thought process, is there any way that, like, with all the changes that's going on in the planet right now, that the universe can somehow be overriding me and what I'm trying to do? Because, like, sometimes I notice, like, when it rains here or when the weather changes on gloomy days, I find my body just really reacting, getting stiffed up and stuff like that. And what can I do to raise my energy state?
Okay.
I feel so lethargic.
As I'm listening to your, as I'm listening, thank you so much for calling and for sharing this information with us. As I'm listening to your question, I'm going through a review of systems as to all the things that possibly could need to be addressed or need to be reintegrated, etc. And I'm going to stick primarily with the subject here relative to melanin. Now, something that has not been written about yet, or at least I haven't come across the information, is seasonal affective disorder in melanin-dominant individuals. Now, melanin-recessive individuals have noticed, those individuals who live far north, Russia, Europe, UK, where they have, heavy cloud covers, not much direct sunlight, etc., that they definitely have neuronal or neurologic changes occur in the brain. And therefore, they definitely have mood changes and, mineral metabolism, metabolic deficiencies occur, not able to really lay calcium properly into the bones, utilize it in the muscles, etc. Well, this is also a problem for melanin-dominant individuals. That with all of this melanin, just like anything else, it has to be cared for. And one of the ways to keep melanin healthy is to keep it charged. It is a superconductor. It is a biological superconductor. That is to say that when it is bombarded with light, whether it be in the form of sound, whether it be in direct color, whether it be a direct exchange from, person-to-person contact, the melanin will absorb the energy. It will actually multiply it, and then any excess it will actually give off as heat. So when melanin-dominant individuals are not stimulating their melanin so that it can maintain its charge and then be able to continue charging itself because it likes to maintain a particular voltage of energy, okay, then you'll find that the whole system, just like the battery in a car, will begin to run down. So, on days that you find, for example, the ambient environment doesn't support you, it's cloudy, it's raining, and you really feel bad, then you have to turn to other forms of light for you to basically get the energy that you need. You might want to try this. Music. Very, very good at doing this. And I don't know if you've ever said, okay, well, I'm just really run down, but I really got to get this done, and you just take your MP3 player with your favorite music in it and just plug yourself up. Within 10 or 15 minutes, you're like, I've totally forgotten that you basically were run down and were deciding to go to bed as opposed to make this deadline. Are you listening to me? Yeah.
Yes, I'm listening.
Music also, too, very interesting. The consumption of the relatives, or what I call the first cousins of melanin, make a big difference. There's a drink that I always recommend to supplement melanin, and it's called a green drink. And it consists of watercress, celery, cucumbers, green apples, and you just juice them. And if you begin to take this because of its high chlorophyll content, and in the plant world, the chlorophyll molecule really functions like melanin. The only difference is that, the center element of exchange in that polymer is iron in humans as opposed to magnesium, which is in the chlorophyll, but our bodies have the capacity to change the electronic configuration so that we can take magnesium and make iron to charge ourselves. It's very interesting. So green drink will help. And the green drink that I recommended, I like it a lot, as opposed to there's other plant sources that are very high in chlorophyll, but they have what I call a purgative effect on the body. So we don't want to make you go into a detox reaction, but this will really energize you.
And if it's okay, I have another question.
Okay, just real quickly, please.
The question that I have is skincare products, like soap. Is there like a good soap that is good to use that doesn't have a lot of chemicals? And is there any particular
Castile soap, Castile-based soaps, and coconut oil-based soaps. I want to say to you too, copper is very important in melanin-dominant individuals.
Okay.
So that also is a conductor of energies. So you might want to get yourself, a copper supplement, low dose, and start taking copper too. Because if you're not really eating a lot of green leafy vegetables, and especially green vegetables that have been grown in what I call empowered soil that is high in mineral content, then many times, even though the vegetable can be green, they can still be very low in minerals. So the copper will make a difference too.
Okay.
Okay. Are you walking a little bit? Hello? I said, are you walking a little bit?
I'm out and about a lot. I live in Miami.
Well, good. Okay, because melanin loves activity too. So in melanin-dominant individuals, because they have such a large muscle mass, the more melanin an individual has in the skin, it normally appears as though they have quite a bit of muscle mass associated with it, as opposed to individuals.
I'm wondering if with all of the changes that's going on within the planet right now, could that be like affecting,
Of course it can. But of course it can. But I just gave you the panacea to help combat that. And that is, like I said, you want to pay attention to making sure that you are exposing yourself to enough stimulus, whether it be in the form of music, again, massage to the body. That makes a real big difference. Dry brushing your skin will also make a big difference and charge up literally the battery in melanin. Okay, you want to basically think about the fact, again, that you need more energy. Then if you think on this with the melanin, just go to a melanocyte and talk to it in your head. Will make a big difference. Okay, and again, making sure that you do move the body, and that when you can, that you do get sunlight. Okay? But yeah, that is something that we're going to all have to accommodate with. I was really noticing after the big earthquake, etc., not until I went to NASA did I read where they were saying that the whole continent now has shifted, the whole axis of the earth. I was recognizing the way I was structuring my sentences. It was like I was putting everything backwards. I was like, wow, that's like really interesting, because I could see myself doing it, but it was just that, I was just totally restructuring the English language. And I'm like, wow, that's fine.
I've been feeling lately like, everything is just a bit off,
Exactly, yeah, and I was like, wow, that's really interesting, to be aware that I'm doing that. And I said, well, this has really been going on since the earthquakes, and now with the tsunamis, and, there are 4 earthquakes that happened. So, it's a really big shift. And so we will all respond perhaps differently, but we need to pay attention to those. That's why I started out the show today saying that it's important to allow, okay, to not get so busy and want to be rigid and trying to make yourself be like you were